Up YouTube, we are back for another OCG Metagame Report 7. Welcome to week 7 of the OCG 2024 format. This report tabs 76 top performing decks from 15 tournaments that were held in Japan, China, mainland, and South Korea during the 17th to the 21st of February 2024. So here we can see the metagame report. It is a lot of fire, the new Tempai Dragons coming second, Pure Snake Eyes third, and then Voiceless, well, tied third, and then just a bunch of other stuff. So fire is to 30% of the, around 30% of the meta now. Tempai Dragon, that's a new interesting card. Interesting format. Tempai Dragon has become a top contender in the metagame, and players are allocating even more cards against them. Nagishi Fuko in the extra deck is used when going first against Tempai Dragon. Nagishi Fuko second effect is a quick effect that can be activated during an opponent's turn to make this card cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, you take no battle damage for attacks involving Fuko. Also has a continuous effect that makes it unaffected by other card effects, making it immune to forbidden droplets. However, since you take no battle damage for attacks involving this card, then it is still possible for Tempai Dragon opponents to remove King Fushu by attributing it to special summon a Kaiju monster or Santa Claus to your field, and then proceed with a one-turn kill. D-Barrier is in the side deck is also used to declare synchro monsters, and that would also effectively shut down the Tempai Dragon's core strategy. Change of Heart has become a popular tech for the Fire King Snake Eyes matchup, mainly to take control of the opponent's Appaloosa. With X61 and finished third in 11th Dark Hole, which had 48 participants. Okay, so we've got Fire King Snake Eyes here. Okay, so 1 3 1 1. Only 1 1 1 1. No Oak is kind of interesting. And still the same 3 6 9 12 hand traps, called by crossout. So it's a little bit different here in the TCG. We're not using Skyburn. I think Garunix has largely been said not good enough. The rest of the deck and Fuko, I guess it makes sense for the Tempai Dragon. The rest of it looks pretty standard, and then they decided more hand traps, some back row removal. We hopefully get Heavy Storm back. Change of Hearts, Thrust, and Dimensional Barrier. Okay. So it doesn't look too different from ours. We do minimize the Fire King package, though, and maximize more of the Snake Eyes package. So I think it's become a trend now that we're cutting down on that to play more of the Snake Eyes cards. But then again, Max sees this thing, so maybe their format's a little different. Tempai Dragon. Tempai Dragon core package is rather compact, consisting of just 8 effect monsters and 6 spells, allowing the deck to run up. 17 hand traps in the main. That sounds like something that could be good in the TCG. Where there's a will, there's a way out is a new field spell from Legacy of Destruction and is played to support Set Rotation and Ancient Fairy Dragon. Where there's a will, there's a way out. Effect allows the turn player to excavate cards from the top of their deck up to the number of cards in their opponent controls. If they do, they add 1 excavated card to their hand. They then place the rest and 1 card from the hand on the bottom of the deck in any order. This is a rather good effect when going second, as it allows you to dig for outs against the opponent's board, so it's not too bad of a brick when drawn. It's kind of like Prosperity then. Set Rotation, we know what that does, and is usually used to get Brimming Sanguine Manor for yourself while giving the opponent whether the will is the way out. In the Fire King matchup, if the opponent has Fire King Island in a field spell, then activating Set Rotation would send their Fire King out. Great, replace it with field spell. Okay, that's similarly, Ancient Fairy Dragon effect could also do that because it needs to get 2 different field spells now. Okay, from deck, and then later set in this field spell to trigger Ultimate Tzolk'in. Oh, so they're using Tzolk'in as well. Okay, so does that mean they're going for like Calamity plays or something? Okay, so here's the sample deck list. So we've got Blaster, which we have in the TCG, the Tempai Dragons, which are 6 main deck monsters, and then 8 spells. Was it 8 monsters, 6 spells? There we go. And then these are the new field spells that they're using. Okay. New Tempai Dragon. So yeah, these cards are really interesting, aren't they? How do we do it? Tempai. Okay. Let's see. So Tempai Dragon, Bedora. I believe that's this one here. The white one. It's in the middle. So we'll start with this one. If it's this card normal or special, you can take one Sangan spell / trap card from your deck and either add it to your hand or set it. You can only use this effect at once per turn. You take no battle damage for battles involving your fire dragon monsters. Once per turn during the battle phase, you can quick effect immediately synchro summon. Okay, so it's immediately synchro summon. That seems to be the gimmick there. Yeah, so they all have that. They all have that effect? Okay, so Fedora, which is the green one here next to Nib, and Bedora, which is the white one. These seems to have, or the like yellow thundery one, I guess. They seem to have the quick effect synchro in the battle phase, while Zhongdora, which is this red one here, once per turn during the battle phase, you can quick effect. Oh wait, no, it also has this effect. It just has it at the start of the card. Using this card and card you control, you can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If you control a fire dragon monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Okay, so it combos well with Blaster there. Aside that, if a monster battles, you can special summon level 4 fire dragon monster from your deck, except Zanga. Level 4 or lower fire dragon. So that effect doesn't come up here because they have no level 4 or lower fire dragon monsters from their deck. Yep. Okay. Right. That's right. No level 4 or lower fires. Yep. No. So that's the only one there. Okay. Sagan Manor, which is the new one here. Fire dragon monsters you control are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects during the main phase. Main phase 1 only. During your main phase, you can add one Tempai Dragon monster from your deck to your hand, then discard one card. You can only use this effect of that once per turn. If this card is destroyed during the battle phase, you can target one Dragon Synchro monster you control. Its attack becomes doubled. Ooh, okay. I'm kind of seeing the synergy here. So that's like, oh yeah, and Trident Dragon. Might be worthwhile picking up a couple of Trident Dragon early before it goes sky high in price. But yeah, this looks like an interesting strategy. I hope it works out in the TCG. And we don't have Maxi, so I could easily see this being a nasty one. That'll be D-Barrier for the Mirror match. Crow and Phantasme, that'll be for the Fire matchups. And Red Reboot. They still have Red Reboot legal. Oh, and they got access to Ruddy Rose, which can just obliterate the graveyard. That's kind of cool. Similar to Kikasuchi Fugo, Lureless Simple Nightingale is an extra deck we use when going first against Tempai Dragon. Reactivated to make your Lure most unaffected and you take no battle damage. Yep, okay. So that's another thing they use there. Vulnerable. However, it is vulnerable to the Forbidden Droplets. So are they? And I haven't seen Forbidden Droplets as much. Anti-spell, yeah, it could be used against Fire Kings and Snake Eyes if the opponent is deciding change of heart attack. Yeah, because they rely heavily on their field spell. It's both one-turn kill, 30k. Okay, doesn't look too special, I guess. They're still using Birch, and this is a cross-out type of hand trap ratio, I guess. Also using, I think this is that Snake Eyes trap card there. Not playing Underworld Goddess. I don't know. Underworld Goddess feels like it could be useful earlier here. Yeah. Okay, fair. And then we have Voiceless bringing up the rear. I mean, what do you want me to say about Voiceless? It's... Voiceless is Voiceless. It's not really going to change at all. Okay. I mean, it's... Yeah, it's exactly like... It's so similar to the TCG here. Except they're using Extrav over Prosp because they have one less Prosp. But yeah. This deck is just... I think this is just getting a lot of more attention because it's new, but... to me, it doesn't feel better than something like, say, Manadium that can would just like play Call by Cross out talents in Manadium. It feels like a similar deck. Uh, Temp Dragon is now a serious contender, and many players have to prepare for more than just Ghost and Snow Rabbit inside, and are adding D-Barrier and Anti-Spell Fragrance. Many Viking Snake Eyes players also can Solemn Strike from the side deck to run Anti-Spell or Solemn Judgment instead. Okay, so that's a good part of the meta. I think the meta breakdown right now is quite interesting. So if Temp Dragon, once we get that deck in rotation, if Temp Dragon becomes a new contender of the decks and diminishes the fire decks like it is in the OCG, I don't think we're going to see any form of disruption to that. I think that it'll balance the whole format. How to put this? I don't think we will see as big a need to diminish the power on the like first wave of the ban list. However, I believe in the second wave of the ban list, that's when we will see a heavier push towards the fire decks getting hit harder, and then the dragon deck will get promoted. So it'll be a nice idea to pick up the stuff you think you need for Temp Dragon now, and that way, if it does become a contender, everything you're going to get is going to go way up. But if not, it'll probably just stay the same. But yeah, I would definitely get Trident Dragians like now. That's my perspective. I would. Where is it? Temp Dragon. Here we go. Yeah. So Hieratic Seal, I would get now. I would make sure you have access to all of your Dragon Synchros now rather than later. Especially Trident Dragian. Get your Dragon Ruler stuff now. Blaster definitely needed. But yeah, get your stuff now is what I'll say.